Are you hurting?
Who are you?
Are you a guardian or a parent?
When were you born?
Do you know the history of the land you walk on?
What scares you?
What do you consider art?
Do you love yourself?
Are you aware of your surroundings?
Do you believe in something?
Are you healing?
What's love?
Are you an original Austinite?
Do you journal or write? Why are you here?
Thelonious, Spear, Monk. Ode to Thelonious, Spear, Monk. They coined you the melodious or the mad monk. I call you the magnificent maven. I hear you in the whistling, winding winds. See you in the angled arches of the evening skyline. Monk, a proficient professor of sound and silence. You deconstructed the 88 keys right before our eyes by using your fingers, forearms, and elbows. You pushed the piano to new dimensions of sound and space. Monk, the high priest of bebop, the composer. The only composer recorded more than you is Duke Ellington. Monk, whose Round Midnight is the most recorded jazz song in history. Monk, till this day, they are still trying to decipher your hieroglyphics of sound. They say your predilection for dissonant intervals, your altered chords, and rhythmic displacement provided a world where you stood as pharaoh of the frequency. Here you were able to manipulate the resonant, reverberating sound, but while the other musicians around you were expressing their virtuosity, filling that space between the fifth and sixth notes through this new form of expression later called bebop, you were in search of something else. You were trying to conduct us to silence between the phrases. You were hinting for us to listen because there's no communication if we are all talking. Your vision was for us to learn to walk in that silence. That's why you were trying to find that quote, note within the note. Monk, ever-present, effervescent, choreographing phrases and breaths with that sly smirk on your face. Cause you were 5 steps ahead of us. You said, quote, there are no wrong notes. Some are just more right than others. And you tried to tell us the quote, the loudest noise in the world is silence. Ode to Thelonious, Spear, Monk.
Monk. Jazz. Life. All those things about music. That's what we all have in common. Coming together into this place, this thing. And I got here, I don't know. When did I get here, Austin?
A little bit before me.
I got here in 1960. Oh my Lord. 1960, Acia Manette Gray, born in Meridian, Mississippi. 1960. Think about what's going on in Mississippi in the 60s. Oh Lord. Some of the biggest equity access and trying to change things into a better place. Offices of CORE were in Meridian, Mississippi. Oh my Lord. But so was the Ku Klux Klan. Now, I was just coming in at 1960. I was oblivious. And so was my brother. He's holding me about 3 months after I was born because I was 3 months premature. So, and also, he didn't even know Mom was pregnant. And that's Big Daddy, Mr. Gray, and that's me. Put a little more meat on my bones since I came in so early. Mr. Gray's my dad, or at least I thought he was. Didn't find out until that was a lot later. So you wonder the culprit behind all this stuff. I don't think I've ever said that before, culprit. But how did I come in here? What's the tie that binded me through a lot of stuff? Mom! So Mom got out of Mississippi about the time I was 5 years old. So Mr. Gray, Lester, and her got a divorce. So now we're in Houston. I don't actually remember much. I kind of remember the beach. That's me too. I kind of remember the beach, but what I remember is bars. Bars, bowling alleys, and Dunkin' Donuts. Those are some of my biggest memories. And as far as I knew, kind of fun. But sleeping on those hard plastic seats at the bowling alley, it's not really that comfortable. But I did it. That was me. I didn't know any different. And all this time, there was a part of me that was always beating on stuff. And so, during this time, Mom, however many years this is, I remember stepfathers. Actually, a few. I think some of them were legal. There's a whole story behind that we won't get into. But I do remember good stuff about those bars. Mom taught me how to swing dance or Lindy hop. It's easier with a partner. Yep, and the other thing, the music. I don't so much remember the music in those early bar years with just Mom and me, but the music I do remember, one of the biggest ones, the Mamas and the Papas. I thought they were so cool. The Mamas and the Papas. You know what Mom got me? I still have it to this day. On a little Rolodex card about that big. It says, to Ace, Mama Cass. My mama got that for me. Autograph from Mama Cass. I think that's so cool. But going back to stepfathers, that's my dad now. He's been my dad since I was about 6, 7 years old. That's Jerry Horn. I suppose they met in the bar because he is a musician. He plays lead guitar and he can play bass with his feet at the same time. Lead guitar, and he sings. Mostly country music, some R&B, but he also can play Malagueña incredibly on the guitar. So, we're still in those bars like every weekend. I don't think I was ever at school on time on Mondays. Always late, because we were coming out of the bars. So, think about little Acia. So all of a sudden, remember I'm still beating on stuff. I don't know why, I'm just beating on stuff. But I got an opportunity to sing. So now, when they call my name, I come from the back of the bar, playing pool with the drunks and shuffleboard. Yeah, right, I hear, ladies and gentlemen, Acia Minette. And I'd go up there and sing. And oh my God, it was fun. I'd just sing my thing, play a little tambourine. I learned how to play tambourine when I was little. It was really cool. But again, never made it to school on time on Mondays. And I remember loading out really late at night. And we had a 1960 Ford Econoline van. If you're old enough, you remember vans back in that days. Had the engine in the middle of the 2 seats up front. I was small enough to fall asleep on the engine to stay warm. That's how little I was. Well, one night after a gig, I got in the back with a shag gold carpet in the back of this van, and I felt this metal. And I went, what is this? And my mom said, it's your drums. Oh my God! mine? I had just seen those on stage right in front of me that night. I guess they got tired of me beating on everything. So I got my own drums. Oh my God, drums. Oh my God, amazing. So now I'm learning how to play the drums, doing all this stuff. I think, why am I always beating on stuff? I already was doing this before anybody ever really taught me to do anything. And of course I was getting better at it every time I practiced doing it. But it's like, why? Why is this? If Big Daddy is not really Dad, is that true? So come to 2022 and go back about 15 years ago. And Mom tells me, Big Daddy's not your dad. And I went, okay. Now, my mom had a life of her own. From the administrator of a hospital to a dancer. Never saw her dance, but I saw a lot of bars. Put that together. Don't know really what kind of dancer she was. But what I did find out about 15 years ago, that my real dad was Harmon Knight. Guess what he did? He's the guy in the middle, playing drums. It's in my DNA. Oh my Lord, in my DNA. So at the ripe old age, about 7, I was playing drums now and singing. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Imagine, about that age, held for posterity. Some honky-tonk near Houston, Texas.
Gonna do a Merle Haggard tune for you now. Acia's, that is.
Daddy Frank played the guitar and French harp. Sister played ringing tambourine. Mama couldn't hear our pretty music. She read our lips and helped the family sing. That little band was all for our living, and our only means of living at the time. And it wasn't like no normal family combo, 'cause Daddy Frank, the guitar man, was blind.
'60, huh? '60 baby.
It's 1960, baby, but I was premature, remember, so maybe it was supposed to be 61, because I was in October. Maybe I was supposed to be in 61.
Were you ever like a hippie, like Woodstock style?
I have no idea.
Oh.
She's a baby, bro.
I was just a baby. I have no idea.
I always wanted to be.
I have no idea.
I was born in 78.
78?
1978.
Oh, wait.
What's about to happen? I mean,
Staying alive.
all right. Okay.
Staying alive.
You too, man? You're gonna co-sign on this, really?
Let me get it.
Sorry.
I guess Staying Alive was at the top of the charts, I guess. Also, Space Invaders was launched. It was one of the first video games, launched the entire video game industry, so I never really left the house after that. They started to acknowledge climate change as early as 1978. In fact, Sweden banned aerosol sprays. That's how long we've been fighting that battle. I was born in Brownsville, Texas. I was the only bald, non-Hispanic baby in the hospital. So my mom always told me I was very easy to find. I was 3 weeks late.
Oh.
And I don't know the exact specs, but I know I was somewhere around 9-10 pounds and like 11 inches long or something ridiculous like that. I was a big baby, but no hair. Not till I was like 3 or 4. My daughter was the same, just no hair. She just now got some hair. That's my dad, Van Young. He was 19 years old. And that didn't really work out. But I got to reconnect with my dad when I was around 17 years old, and we have a pretty good relationship now. I'm really thankful for that. I wish I knew where that was. I don't even know where that is.
Wow.
A 1, a 2, you know what to do.
Ah.
Give him a little something sweet. Lay it on.
Get it, Austin.
Yeah, man. I've heard. Hey.
Yeah, Austin.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, Dylan, okay.
Oh, go, Dylan.
Take it home.
Yeah, Nick. Yes. Yes.
Someone should hire you to tap dance. Man.
Was that Zell?
Someone should hire him to tap dance. Pretty good.
I think so. We should, yeah. That was beautiful. The envelope, please. These all. You tired, baby?
Yeah, you know. Haven't really danced a lot in the last 2 years.
COVID's done that to a few of us. Put a poor mic on somebody, right? These have a little jewels of wisdom from Thelonious Monk. Quotes throughout the evening. You've been making the wrong mistakes. I like that.
So, 60.
Yeah.
78.
78.
Okay. Let's try,
You're gonna get
1969.
Hey, baby.
I be a 60s baby who stepped out of his teens into the late 80s. So musically, I'm better than you.
Yeah, man.
I arrived in 1969, the same time America was stepping toes down on the moon. Same time the Americans were orbiting the moon's rotation. Same time black students were still being treated less than. Same time black students stormed the administrative offices of Duke University because they were slow to implement racial reform. Same time, black students stormed the administrative offices at UW-Madison. They presented just 13 demands, took the building, and were beaten by police officers. Yet, this country was able to send white men to the moon while black and brown families were suffering in this so-called land of the free. In the year of my birth, my worth was $1 billion. Just a few years before my birth, black bodies still hung from southern trees. So many that they gave it a name. They called it strange fruit. Just a few years before my birth, the assassinations of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. So I was born in a cataclysmic collaboration to make me feel less than. An African proverb says, children choose their parents. So, Zell Miller Jr. and Vernell Miller were the perfect combination to create an artist for this generation. And in 1969, Nikki Giovanni published her first book. It was called Black Feeling, Black Talk. And years later, her book, My House, would help me remove a 380 that set acute in my mouth. I'm a 60s baby, a 70s toddler. I was premature by a month. Check it. See, my birthday is November 12th, 1969, and I misjudged it by 2 days because November 10th, 1969, this premiered. Sing it if you know it. Sunny days, chasing the clouds away. Yeah, on my way to where the air is clear. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? A street of manners and tolerance and acceptance and after-school specials and Saturday mornings. We sat with bowls of cereal. The only time we were allowed to eat in the living room and we gorged on Looney Tunes, Wacky Racers, Space Ghost, Land of the Lost, Electro Woman, and Dino Girl, the Jetsons, the Flintstones, Jabberjaw, Hong Kong Phooey, and the Super Friends. And after we feasted, TV went off, and Mom would load the hi-fi with enough 45s to choke an elephant. And we took up arms against the dust and dirt that dared enter into our home. I came of age in the 70s with the blaxploitation films, and we saw those in the back of my father's 67 truck on Saturday nights at the drive-in movie theater. So, I was born in the tail end of one of the most revolutionary decades in this country, the third stone from my mama's son, her third son. So if she parented from fear, it was because she was a Southern-born, coffee cream woman who knew the evils and the history and the brutality of Southern traditions, and I was her problem child. My mouth and my fearlessness scared her, so I learned how to move in white spaces. I was born in 1969, the tail end of one of the most revolutionary decades, and I came prepared, one of the most revolutionary decades, and I came with a scowl on my face. My right hand was twisted into a fist, just like John Carlos and Tommy Smith of the '68 Olympics, which was 1 year before I was born. Because my anger is not displaced. Even to this day, I am still judged by the skin on my face in this place. I'm a 60s baby and a 70s toddler, and I wouldn't change not one single day of it, because it all made me who I am.
Quote, "A genius is the one most like himself." That's a strange broom.
What?
I don't see how you can clean the floor with those things. Oh.
This beautiful black artist, drummer, that my dad, Mr. Jerry Horn, one of the front apartment buildings, brought to me after I got those drums to learn how to play brushes. And I think he also scattered.
Hey, so shake it, the flop, the fat, dilly, the dot, the flag, take it, to the doom, the dot, go get to the dot, to the dot, to the dot, tap dance and talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to tell you,
What was that?
1957 drum set, pedal is taking a intermission.
To Thelonious, 2. Your frequency wasn't scrambled, but your genius was often overshadowed by your personality. America loves tall tales, the myth over the truth, because the truth sometimes shows us to be ourselves, which makes America have to see the people of color as humans and not oddities, not giants, not beasts, but human just like them. Your idiosyncrasies aided and abetted in this false narrative, and we did not protect you. We bought into that false storyline also. See, dig, as a young man, I often dreamed of breaking into insane asylums in New York and finding your secret writings on the wall so I could find my way off this planet and get back to the unearthlings like you. Because that's your narrative. They speak of your compositions like you didn't sweat blood and tears to bring them into reality, like you just walked into a studio and started playing, like you didn't spend hours upon hundreds of hours making charts and writing out all the parts for other musicians, like you had no clue or control over any of it. They called your behavior odd, but put it off on drugs or alcohol. But the joke was on them. You were only arrested once for drug possession, and they weren't even your drugs. You were holding them for a friend. But as you said, quote, sometimes it's to your advantage to have people think that you're crazy. Check it. When a child gets a burst of energy and they begin to spin to the music, no one questions that child's mental ability. But when a jazz titan in concert pushes away from his 88 keys and begins to spin and dance on stage, we question his mentality. And no one talks about what a great father you were and how you prefer to be at home with your family than in the clubs like your other jazz musicians. And no one talks about how giddy you were at playing happy birthday for your children in your style. and style. That ain't even a word. Your sharp suits and them hats. You move with ease, almost like you were gliding. Ode to Thelonious Monk, who tried to explore, and you gave us a glimpse into what sound and silence can be. You stepped us into bebop, then slid us into the cool, caressed us through the hard jazz, and the smiles on our face with your playful progressions, and they coined you the melodious monk. I call you the magnificent maven, and I hear you in the whistling, winding winds, just being you, scared America, a black man who was truly free. Can't help but think if we would have protected you. Ode to Thelonious Spear Monk, your words still ring in my head as you said, quote, whatever you think can't be done, somebody will come along and do it.
I was really feeling it. Sorry.
That's okay. Don't play everything.
Nick, quote, bro. The quote.
Or every time.
You know who you're talking to? How many notes do I leave out? All right.
Yeah, how many notes do you know how to leave out? You got some years ahead of you. Let some things go by. What you don't play can be more important than what you do. What are we about to do? Oh my God. Getting into something.
What's happening?
In walk Zell. In walk Nick.
Are we having a good old-fashioned sit about?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna...
And then they got into something.
I think we're just gonna try to talk beyond stage, right? It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
World sort of changed, right?
Yeah.
So we don't even know how, I don't. We have these amazing musicians.
Yes.
We have this amazing audience.
Yes.
And we're here with no masks.
We are here with no masks.
We have faces.
People have to brush their teeth, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause, you know what I mean?
You have to wear lipstick, ladies, if you take them off.
You know what I mean? But I'm nervous. Do I sit? Do I stand? Do I grab the mic?
I think you could, just make,
Just do your thing.
The stage is your home.
Thing.
Give us a little something.
Y'all are sitting, so you got your
Just
backwards.
be cool.
Just be cool.
Just be cool. Look cool.
You've been all right though. You've made it through COVID. All right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready to come to make some trouble here?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's see what happens. Give it a spin.
All right. Here we go.
Give it a spin.
Let's see what it pulls up.
What do we got?
Teen Crush.
That's
you,
me?
Nick. That's you.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I've been thinking about it, and do you remember Get Smart, the original?
Yes.
Yeah. So that used to be on reruns when I was a kid, and whoever the girl is in that was I think was actually my first.
What's her name?
Yeah.
Diane Riggs, you win. All right, I got a crush. Sorry.
Fine.
Sorry. Davy Jones. David Cassidy, and Chekhov. Star Trek.
Okay.
I love Star Trek.
He was
Are you
cute.
a Trekkie?
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt.
come on.
Transportation.
Yeah,
Eartha
Transportation.
Kitt.
That's you.
Oh, it's me.
That's you.
Transportation. Okay. So the first time I got a car, it was that Ford Econoline van. That 1960 Ford Econoline van with the shag carpet in the back that I found my drums in.
Wait, that was your first car too?
That was my first car.
That's amazing.
And I drove it to school. It was here in Austin. And I had to go down 290 to high school. Because back then I actually went to Manor High School. Yep, and actually I enjoyed it. Friday night football and everything. But the thing about it is, it really didn't have very good brakes at all. I'd pump, stop!
Wow.
Terrifying.
Pretty scary.
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty
Terrifying.
scary.
Dig
What
it.
about you, transportation?
Well, my first car, if we're talking about cars, was actually your
Oh,
dad's
no.
car. And I bought it for $400. I say my car, I didn't really know the way things went, so I never changed the title.
Wow.
I also never got insurance. I'm not even sure I had a license. But I had a car. A 1979 Datsun. Gray. Yeah, I nicknamed it Smoochy Booches.
Oh, stop time! Magazines and books.
Magazines and
Zell.
books, that's me. Okay, so,
We got a mix-up.
of course, this was comic books, right? Any Marvel, DC, whatever, we were really into that.
You mixed Marvel and DC?
Of course we did. Come on, man. So here's a quick funny story, right? Me and my brothers didn't know how a library worked. We went into a library and we saw these really cool books. We didn't know we needed to get a card, so we stole them, read them, and would take them back. And then one day we were putting them back on the shelf, and the librarian's like, "Hey, come here." We thought we were in trouble, right? She's like, "I need your parents to sign this so that you can get books whenever you want."
Oh my God! All right, so we have. I gotta add this because Mad Magazine.
Of course.
And during COVID, I'd put a mask on. I'd look just like Alfred P. Newman.
Oh, no.
You guys old enough to know me. It's true. Just wait. I'll put a mask on.
I've
I wear a
never-
mask every once in a while.
I've never
It's
seen that
embarrassing.
magazine. I don't know anything about it.
I
Never
am.
even heard of it.
Communication.
Communication. That's you, Nick.
Communication.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm an only child, and I realized that I talk to myself a lot because I started doing it again when I was here in Austin. Because I'll be walking around by myself, and then all of a sudden I realized that I was just out loud narrating the world around me for some reason.
They say it's a sign of
for
smart.
me, tap dance has always been my easiest form of communication, the way I can express myself.
Dig that.
The
I dig
best.
that.
Yeah.
Dig
Will
that.
you do it well?
that.
Oh, one more stop.
What do we got?
Yes, you do.
Getting in
Getting in trouble.
That's you, Ace.
Oh, crap.
You're never in trouble.
All right.
Goody two shoes.
I can't talk about the stuff that nobody knows about. All right, so in high school, I think it was I was a freshman in high school, and there was this boy that none of us liked. He was just a pain, such a pain. And I flushed his jacket down the toilet.
What?
But I went to the hospital. No,
The hospital, no.
the principal's office.
Principal's office.
I went to the principal's office. Last one.
Oh, I thought that was the last one. We got one more?
School.
School.
Oh, that's me. Man, I hated school. From the time I was in kindergarten to the time I graduated high school, I hated school. I cried every day. Trouble. Come on, man. I lived in a predominantly black neighborhood, and we went to a predominantly black school with all white teachers. There was no communicating, right? So one day my brother tells his story. I'm in second grade. He hears bang, bang, bang. He goes and looks, and the teacher's sitting on the desk with her head like this. Stop it, stop it. And I'm laying on the desk kicking a wall. So he comes in and goes, "What's the problem?" She's like, "I tried to wash his mouth out with soap." And my brother goes, "Oh, he's not the problem. He's going to tell my mom. Good luck."
Then you're going to have a problem. Yeah,
Oh my God! We can't get any better than that.
No.
We can't get any better than that. Nick, take us out, baby. Take us out. Oh my God! Gotta deal with my mom.
Ooh.
Man, I was feeling that moment.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Sorry.
Bro.
It is a little embarrassing
what's
for a
even more
musician. I
embarrassing?
thought I was at the end of the phrase
You know
and
what's
everything.
even more embarrassing? You're her protege, bro.
We'll figure it
I
out.
taught you better than that.
Oh my
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Let me show you
All
how
right.
to do it. Can you
Oh.
bring them in? I'll show them how to do
Sure.
it.
You give it a shot.
1, 2.
not
1, 2,
easy
3,
to
out.
Okay. Show you something I learned from, Prince Rogers Nelson, right?
From Prince.
Prince Rogers Nelson, right? You gotta let him groove a little
Here it
bit,
comes,
you know? And then it's all up in the body and you go something like...
Was that your... Okay.
Yeah, I think. You better exit stage left. 1, 2. Well, you know what to do. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-oh.
Okay. Portrait of an artist or the artist's trajectory or how an artist is made. All right. So, I started reading by the time I was 3 years old. I don't really have a memory of how I learned how to read or who taught me. I just know that I've always loved words, right? And the sound of words, more importantly, and stories. So, at that age, I would hang around my mom a lot more than I would my dad because my mom and her friends told better stories, especially when it got to the big words. They'd spell them out. So I figured out how to use those sounds and to make those words work. So, my first role, preschool. We're getting ready to do a Christmas play, and I'm the smallest kid in the class. So they're like, who can be the baby Jesus? Zell. Nope, I'm gonna be Joseph. No, Zell, you're gonna be Jesus. No, Jesus doesn't talk, and Joseph talks 8 times. I counted. How do you know that, Zell? Because I read the script. No, you didn't. And a star was unto us. Me and my wife made it through the desert. I'm Joseph. So by the time I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, my love for words, and I began to see the world episodically in my brain. I really can't explain it. But I remember the song Hotel California, right? And we used to listen to this radio station called KNOW, and they would play everything. And Hotel California, the first time I heard it, blew my mind. So then every time after that, I would act out all the parts, right? So like I'm walking through the desert. Ace, I'm walking because it's hot. I'm walking through the desert, it's hot. And I'm smelling the warm palitas, you know what I mean? And I'm telling them to bring me my wine, you know? And I'm trying to stab the spirited beast, you know? And then I'm running towards the door to get out, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but my big brother Keith, right? He was like, stop it. Stop being weird. What's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? Stop it. People are gonna make fun of you. Stop it. But I never stopped. I kept playing.
We shuffling? He's passing it up.
All right. So it's middle school now, right? And my brother Tony was in journalism, right? So he would come home with the camera, right? I thought that was the coolest thing, right? So when I'm getting ready to fill out my choice sheet, I write journalism. Now you got two choices, right? So my mom, God rest her soul, her wisdom says, you need to put drama, because you got a big mouth, you got a really good memory, you talk all the time, and you always want to be the center of attention. So choose drama. So I write down drama, right? First day of school, I walk in there, they're like, oh no, you're not on the journalism list. Go find your choice sheet. I wind up being in drama. And I tell the teacher straight off, Mr. Jerry Miller, no relation, God rest his soul, amazing man. I tell him straight off, look, just give me an F. I'm not gonna do anything in this class. I don't wanna be here, I wanna be in journalism. So he would put scripts on my desk, I'd knock them off. He said, Zell, we're gonna improv, give me an F. I'm not being in here, I wanna be in here. So at that time, I had a photographic memory before kids, let's be clear about that. So, they get ready to do their play, and the lead character gets sick. Now, every day in rehearsal, Mr. Miller makes me sit next to him because otherwise I wander off. I literally would just go and just sit in front of the journalism class, just look inside like this, right? So, he said, Zell, listen, if you do this role, I will do what I can to get you into journalism. Bet! So I do the role, right? Next day, I walk into school, and like 5 or 6 8th grade girls are like, there he is, hi, Zell! Oh my God, you were so good yesterday! You were so cute, oh my God! So I'm getting attention from 8th grade girls, so now 7th grade girls want to give me attention because 8th grade girls are giving me attention. 7th grade boys want to be my homies, and 8th, I'm like, whoa, there is something to this theater thing, so let me stay a little while. All right, so it's high school now, right? I'm acting, I'm doing all kind of stuff. Mr. Miller, in all his wisdom, helped me get into my first community play. I'm getting paid to be an actor. It's all lovely, but I want something more. Prince Rogers Nelson.
Yeah.
I become obsessed with Prince Rogers Nelson, right? I change my hair, I get a Jerry curl, just down just a little bit. White people, Jerry curl is when they put like a chemical on your hair and they curl it. Now, depending on the size of the rods is how big your curls would be, and you gotta keep it moist. Otherwise, you gotta poof on your head, right? So I take mine and I swoop it over my left eye and I peroxide it so it's golden brown. Now, I got the look, I got the walk, right? I got the walk, I got the look. Look at me fronting like I know how to play a piano, right? So then, because I got a lot of charisma, right? I create a band called The New Breed, right? Look at us. That's me doing my thing.
Cute.
Oh! Okay, that tall guy playing the guitar, that's my big brother Tony. He taught himself how to play the guitar by listening to Jimi Hendrix, Star Spangled Banner over and over and over. He taught himself how to play the guitar, right?
Wow.
Look how cool I look. I'm like a rock star.
Yes.
Here's the secret. I can't sing a lick. I'm horrible. And I can't play an instrument. So I can't be Prince. But I don't let that dream die, right? Don't let it die. I continue to try to walk like, try to talk like him, to the point to where people would be like, hey, yo, Zell, what's up, man? And I would say, oh, when the moon eclipses the sun, then you will know.
Oh, my Lord.
That's what's up.
Would you do that again, or was this?
Hey, if I do it again, everybody will get pregnant. I can't.
Oh, my God. Oh. Wow.
Quote, "It's always night, or we wouldn't need light."
Nice delivery.
Hey, Zell.
He's a magician as well.
That was good. How did you... Two questions.
Yeah.
All right, because, this is all about artist stuff, second act stuff, right? But how do we know we're an artist? But also, how do we know we're an adult?
That's deep.
It is deep, isn't it?
That's deep.
Adult? I don't feel like an adult. I feel older. Who feels like an adult? Those hands didn't go up very fast. Did you notice that?
I see that.
I don't want to take responsibility for anything. I'm not an adult. And then that artist question. I don't know. I never thought about that growing up. I've been on stage my whole life, so I didn't process that way. I was just doing my thing. Mm-hmm. And then, as far as being an adult, you think about graduating high school, going to college. Then you're going to be an adult.
Yeah.
So I thought about, I'm going to be an adult. I'm going to go to college and be a doctor. That lasted about 3 months. So I ended up going to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Got a degree. Never danced before I went to New York. Ever danced, except that's jitterbug in the club with my mom. But I took ballet, I took tap, I took modern, I took all this dance stuff, and there was a part, just like the beating on the everything when I was a kid, there was something about going through modern dance especially whatever. It felt in some weird way normal, like organic, like from the inside out kind of thing. And granted, I took ballet in New York, whatever, but it took my current wife, Deirdre Strand, that I met back in Austin Tap, take a ballet class from her, and then I realized, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. She made me a lot better, though. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So I got a degree, and now I'm going to be an artist. But not until the damn TV comes on. So, there I am. So you get a headshot, and then you go to auditions, and you're going to be an artist. You got a headshot. You got a black and white. I got work. I was on a soap opera, Another World. If you ever watched that. Very short little work. Yep, didn't last very long. But I was working. I was doing my thing. And then I was cast in the the Conservatory Theater Company of the American Academy, off-Broadway company, and then I did drama. There was no musical theater involved in this at all. I was doing musical theater stuff in high school and through, melodrama theater and stuff, but no musicals in New York. Serious theater. And then somehow, in that time, I'd been there close to 4 years and had a great rent-controlled apartment in New York City. My roommate was Joe York, if you're an old Austinite, any of those out there. And somehow I ended up getting the lead role in a show called Oedipus Tex here in Austin. At the ripe old age of 23, I am playing an approximately 45-year-old prostitute. Yeah. So, and it was an opera, so I sang. And it was a great role. And the choreographer of that show was Deborah Bray, and she was starting a tap dance company. And I remember thinking, tap dance company? What is a tap dance company? And there were tap dance companies, but they were not in my vision at the time. I was in theater and everything else, but there were. But I thought, well, let me just hang out in Austin. Joe, hold the apartment, Upper West 88th. Stay there. I'm coming back. But I got involved in this tap thing, and all of a sudden, all of this started going down there. And then I was able to do theater all at the same time. I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. And then after a while, we were actually making money and touring the country and making work. So I let my apartment on the Upper West Side go. I stayed in Austin. And was with Austin on Tap until 1989. And in 1989, we were on a 3-month tour. And there was a newsletter that came out in the International Tap Association. We all used to read newspapers. Remember that? And newsletters and magazines. That's how we figured and found out things, and the evening news. There was an audition for the first creative residency for tap dance ever held in the world. Meaning, artists asked to work with one of these great hoofers, an original legend of tap dance, a great American and a great Black American tap dancer. And I was chosen. There were 12 or 15 of us, 12 of us chosen for that program. And I got to that program, and it was 2 weeks long. It was in Colorado. And I got there, and my life changed. There's all this theater and all the steps of tap dance that I knew up until then. It all went right back in to that kid playing drums. And I never thought about tap dance that way before. It was beyond the steps. And I felt the love from not only Honey Coles, who was the legend that I was learning from, but these other incredible legends. Eddie Brown, Buster Brown. They were just all around me. 2 weeks, 9 in the morning until God knows when at night. And we're learning all this repertory and all this stuff, and I was soaking it in. And I said, I can't go back. I can't go back. And at that time, Deirdre Strand, co-founder of Tapestry, was in Austin on Tap. And we were on Pearl Street in Colorado. And we both said we couldn't go back. And that's where Tapestry Dance Company was born, in Boulder, Colorado, 32 years ago. And since then, not only have I been around all these incredible people, I've been able to solo on stage with these incredible masters, incredible, wonderful masters. This is just one of the shots. And I see Jimmy Slide, who's gone. And a baby Savion Glover, such a baby. Ted Levy, and that's just some of them. But now there's not even many left. Maybe 2. Skip Cunningham, and a beautiful man. Preface that by saying, what was that show, Zell, that we watched? 60s Baby on Sundays at 5 o'clock?
Lawrence Welk.
Lawrence Welk. Who watched Lawrence Welk? The tap dancer on the Lawrence Welk show, Arthur Duncan. My first hoofer. I was glued to the television set watching that man dance and sing. Glued to the television set. And since then, not only do we know him, but we love him. He's a part of our family. Tapestry Dance Company has produced him, gone on tour with him, and I've shared many of vodka and cranberry juice. Just a little sip, yes. Yes, just a little sip. Just a little sip. Siobhan remembers, just a little sip. And I think about that, and I think about this rhythm, and I think about tap dance. I never planned on being a tap dancer. I have a degree in advanced acting technique. Am I acting like a tap dancer? Am I acting like a tap dancer? You know, it sounds like a funny question, but it's been pretty real for me for a long time. Am I legitimate as a tap dancer? And in 1992, and some of the dancers that were involved in this show are in the audience tonight. Thank you for being here. Our Tapestry family, Deep Roots Tapestry. I did a solo called Biorhythms. And I was already asking those questions, 1992.
Tap dance. Why can't you get a real job? If you can walk, you can tap. Just put one foot in front of the other.
Just put one foot in front of the other. Just put one foot in front of the other. You know, you can only walk with your own feet. And I think where my feet have been. And a lot of people think tap dance is just about steps, about dancing fast. But this beautiful Black American art form comes from the souls and the struggles and the lives of Black Americans. And I think of myself as a white artistic director of a company that specializes in tap dance, or has for the last few years, because that is not why it was founded. And I think this is what keeps me going. Because our tapestry is about this. All the threads, all the love, everything together. And all I want to do is share the love that was shared with me. But even back then, this was here.
You're a girl and you're white.
All I can do is share what was given to me from the roots of this beautiful American art form, jazz. The roots of that tree, and be a part of that tree, into taking it somewhere. And it can only be through the only way I can do through my life. One, two, 3, 4. Take it home.
Quote, "You've got to dig it to dig it. You dig?" Thelonious Monk.
Yeah, yeah.
I needed that, Dylan.
Who said that?
Thelonious.
Sounds like Eddie to me, Eddie Brown.
Oh, yeah. Kiddies,
Yeah.
can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Yeah. You introduced me to all those cats. You brought me into that world. St. Louis Tap Festival. We got to meet the Nicholas Brothers, Peg Leg Bates,
Yep.
Four Step Brothers.
Yep.
They used to line up on the side and watch the classes. They would sit around for hours. They were so giving, so loving, and so generous with this art form that they created and shared with us. They just wanted everyone to have a piece of it, to acknowledge it.
To remember it. It's that oral history.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
don't forget.
I used to write about it all the time. Did you ever take notes or write about that time?
I didn't take notes like a journal or a diary, but I took copious notes. Probably, or mostly before St. Louis, but notes of quotes from all those great guys, like what they'd say and what they do, and that I write all those things down. And actually, I have tape. I would record all the classes, have all the tapes of all those classes. Yeah, you didn't know that?
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
I have a lot of cassette tapes of all those classes. But
Wow.
you remember our studio?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, with the quotes
Yeah.
on the wall.
Yeah.
All the things that you would hear the great masters say, or even life lessons, like, I always say that the lessons of tap dance are the lessons of life, like, know where your butt is. If you feel lost, you are.
I remember if you can sing it, you can do it. I remember that one on the walls. Yeah. I keep journals, like obsessive journaling. Yeah.
You've been doing it this whole show, this whole run.
Yeah. This is the first time I've journaled on stage.
Wow. That's
But
just too cool.
yeah, I'm 44 years old. I mean, I know I'm cute, but I'm 44.
You are.
And I've kept journals since I was about 10 years old, and I have like 38 journals, so sometimes I write 2 or 3. My mom told me that, I would fill up journals faster than she could buy them sometimes. And when we started having conversations about this show, these questions of when were you an adult, or when do you think you became an artist, it made me want to dive in, because I don't really go back to my journals very often and read through them. And so I thought, okay, 1994, I was 16, 17 or 18, I moved out and got my own apartment. And I want to go back and take a look at those journals. So I read them, page for page. And that was pretty shocking. Some of it was just kind of, stream of consciousness poetry and stuff like that. But a lot of it was very detailed memories that I didn't really fully remember. So I had this weird experience of almost rebuilding memories. And one of the most significant things I discovered is my disassociation with time. Things that I thought spanned over several years. Some of those things happened in a really, really short period of time. The first journal I read, 1994, I was 16 years old, and the first pages I'm talking about this woman, and I'm having an affair with a 28-year-old married woman. I was 16 years old, and I guess I thought I was an adult. But it's funny because there's 2 blank pages after I'm talking about it, and then on that next page it says, well, my mom found my journals. And so you can imagine that put it into that. But reading that at this age as a father was a very, very different experience. The next kind of big event that I start to talk about is when my mother and I moved out to this farm, and we lost everything. My mother had opened up a dance studio, and she had partnered with a woman who was a financial not really financial backer, but did the administrative duties, kept the books, and she had a nervous breakdown and hung a close sign on the studio door, drained the bank accounts, and left. And I came home after school, and my mother's sitting at the table, and my grandmother has her hand on her shoulder, and I can see that image in my mind. And she looks to me and she says, "We've lost everything." And I didn't really know what that meant, but in a matter of weeks, we were in our car with all of our belongings, what we had left, driving out to live at Zendik Farm, which was a commune, because we knew that they would take us in. You traded work, labor for housing and food. So a lot of that was really enjoyable. There was lots of farming, lots of compost piles, working with animals. They even built a dance studio for my mother and I. My mom taught classes out of that dance studio to the farm. Eventually, things got a little maybe too cultish there, and we had to get out, and we packed up everything we had left, and we put it in a truck, and we moved into a storage unit in South Austin. And when I say we moved into a storage unit, we moved into the storage unit. We would sell a few things, whatever we had left, out of that unit in the day, and during the evening, we'd have to wait outside of it until it closed, and then sometimes we'd hop the fence and sleep in the storage unit. And eventually, we started to get our lives back together. My mother's a dance teacher, so she was able to get a job. I got a job working at Fran's Hamburgers. And the next place we moved into was these office buildings that had a shared bathroom, and a slumlord who was renting them out to some people who were in dire straits, some people who were drug addicts. Next door to us, there was this heroin den, and I remember the time they left the jar door, and I saw all of these kids lying about half naked, some of them with needles in their arms, and I mean, I don't really remember it very well, but I just read about it, and I read about a lot of the imagery, and it was shocking. But my mother had this ability to make any space feel like home. She would put her paintings up on the wall. She would paint murals on the wall. And I felt safe, and I felt loved. And that is just so amazing to me, that everything that we've gone through, and sometimes sometimes it felt like it was me and my mom against the world. But we were best friends, and we are best friends. And there was nothing that we didn't talk about, nothing that we didn't share. And I haven't read anything from my journals, and I think tonight I want to read something from my 1995 journal. I'm sorry. It's common knowledge that we choose to expand the mind's potential, reach into the unknown crevasse of the suppressed mind, unleash, outlet true nature, expand the senses and reflect on not just common but enhanced and altered experiences as well. We are wanderers, explorers, travelers, within and without. We swim a vast ocean, ride the current like a dreaming wasp, touch the heavens while whispering in darkness. We shed the skin of mediocrity. We paint rainbows with a gaze. We leap from mountains with makeshift wings. We create new language from burnt ash and fermented juice. We are the magic beans to be planted. We are the harvest. We sing as sirens against the wind and purge waste to vibration. We are witches of pleasure, the immortal, longing soul. The never-ending, the forever damned. We dance on fantasy and weave ribbons of the subconscious mind. We are oligarchs of oblivion, ominous hours haunting obvious objects, obstacles of obsession. We own the wise owl's speculations. We build clay mountains to scale. We wash the feet of the goddess herself. We are time within tempo and pulse within purpose. We are the shade beside the tree, created by the wink of God. At the bosom of Gaia, our green mother and light. Prayer to the masses. We heal in love's eternal name. I rushed that note a little bit, and it, I was right in the pocket. Oh, it drives me crazy.
Get every note in there. Beautiful.
Sing song. Let's swing. A 1, a 2, a you know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Put one foot in front of the other for a second. Yeah, man, play that thing. Man, you were beautiful.
Oh.
Ooh, pretty.
Oh.
A 1, 2, let's take it home.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick. Oh. Walking around. Oh.
Awesome, bro.
My goodness.
Oh.
How you feeling?
I like this chair.
You look, you look comfortable.
Yeah, my dad had a chair like this, almost like this, but it was kind of like green, and he had another one that was kind of blue. My dad didn't really spend a lot of time in the chair, or if he was in the chair, he would sleep, because there were moments in my life where my dad worked 3 jobs, full-time jobs. And my mom, she worked in manufacturing. She worked at night so that she could be home in the daytime in case the kids needed anything. And it's interesting, and listen to your stories and then the youth that I work with. A lot of times I feel like a unicorn because I was raised in a 2-parent household. Those checks that came into the house, none of them came from the government. So I learned by watching my dad and my mom what hard work looks like. And it's funny because as a kid, I'm like, when did he work? Because I remember him being there. Like, he threw footballs with us. He showed us how to have a proper stride when you're running. I remember him picking up and spinning my sister. And in 1976, we had this crazy Christmas where, you get the you might not know nothing about this, Nick, but Ace, when the Sears catalog would come out.
Yeah.
And you circle the things you wanted, and you write up your Christmas list, and you knew like out of the 15, you get like maybe 3 to 5, right? And then in 1976, we got everything that was on that list. Wow. And I remember asking my mom, like years later, I'm like, hey, you remember that 76 Christmas? That was crazy. Like, what was that about? And she was like, your dad worked 3 full-time jobs that year because he wanted y'all to have, not just want, right? And my mom, you fight with the one that's closest to you, right? And there was many years I thought my mom didn't like me, but we were so similar that I was the one who always would fight and buck and whatever. You know what I mean? So, Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. She's a Taurus. Didn't work out. So, But on our journey, it's so awesome to watch this. And it reminds me that even coming from such a stable household that I came from, we still need someone to help us with that journey. And the only way that we're going to make things better is if now, Nick, you are mentoring someone and we pass it down and we keep going, right? Because this woman right here, this is Lori Carlos. And there is no way that I would be the artist that I am if I didn't meet this woman. This is the original Woman in Blue on Broadway, and for color girls who consider Suicide and the Rainbow is Enough, along as a Bessie's Award winner. But she saw me at a performance and pulled me to the side, didn't know anything about me, and she says to me, sweetheart, where's your joy? You're writing all these stories. Where's your joy? You're retelling somebody else's story. What's yours? And from that day, she mentored me. She directed me. I never got the opportunity to be on stage with her. But I've been in plays where she was my director, but just a friend and guided me, and she knows everybody. One day, I'm talking to her. She's in New York, and she's like, hold on, baby, hold on, baby, hold on, baby, hold on, baby, hold on. Go ahead. And this dude is like spitting this poem, and she's like, oh, yeah, that's really good. Okay. She said, Amiri, I'm talking to my baby. Hold on. And I'm like, whoa. Is that Amiri Baraka? She's like, yeah, hold on. You want to talk to him? Here. Gave me the phone. I'm like talking to Amiri Baraka, man. I mean, it's like, but she gave me so many life lessons, and I part them on to my students and my children. And one thing she told me, several things, she said, everything that you need is right here. but you have to learn how to trust it. And she called me Baby Shugs. You're gonna come to a point where you're gonna come to the edge of a cliff. And it's gonna be about your faith if you take that step off. And I promise you, when you take that step, there'll be a whole generation to catch you. Because baby, the universe loves you so much. You are so protected. Everything we need is right here in that first drum. She taught me, she gave me Thelonious, she gave me Miles, she gave me life. And I feel her when I don't think that I can do another day or take another step or take another breath. And she created something called the jazz aesthetic, and it's all about using breath and movement in your work. So this is for you, Ma. It's in the air. It's in the air. Ah, it's in the air. Woo! It's in the air. Yeah, it's in the air. It's in the air. Thelonious to thy monk. And she tells all in the way she holds a glass. Bah, boom, pepikete, boom, boom, psh, pepikete, boom, 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 pepikete, boom, boom, psh. Bebop. Max to thy roach. Who flew us to that blue black. Miles to thy Davis. That great grandpappy to the DJ. Easy into this Parker. That bird flown us to a coal train. Alice and John. See, women have been forgotten in this jazz thing. And it was Marion Williamson who taught all these cats those chords and progressions in her apartment. And that flown us right there to a boom, 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 bitty, bitty, boom, 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 bitty, bitty, boom, boom. Charlie to the Mingus, who took us to a Sarah that be Vaughn and her amazing phrasing. Took us on holiday to Billy. Oh, and it was all so beautiful before the crash. But even then, years later, them young cats started digging through the crates, put us on that, right back on that rhythmic ride. Cats like Diggable Planets, Tribe Called Quest, and Gang Starr. Put us right back on that rhythmic ride. And we cannot forget them late 60s where we thought it was all lost. Then a left-handed phenom straight out of Seattle turned his Stratocaster upside down. He went, wow, 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 break a wow, wow, wow. Hendrix. That's Jimmy. So, everything that binds these 6 souls on this stage tonight is music. Music can save, music can heal, music can move you. So when you feeling like it's too much, all you gotta remember is, it's in the air. It's in the air. Yeah, it's in the air. It's in the air. Ooh, it's in the air. Quote, they tried to get me to hate white people, but someone would always come along and spoil it. Thelonious Monk. It's on me?
Ooh, drum roll. Wait, tap roll.
All right.
Come on, champ.
I ain't no dancer or nothing, but you know what I'm saying? Let's see. Some Sunday morning drama is calling up my mama. The hotline is on, I guess the Silvers do the deal. Bobbing on the jams and the cruise on Sugar Hill. Lay around and think, ain't nothing to do. I'm checking out some Fromm, some Sartre, Camus. Mingus is a damn Roaskin Trump. The DPs are like, there they go, here they come.
What do you know?
Woo! We got the jazz, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, yeah, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, yeah, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, yeah, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, we got the jazz, yeah, we got the jazz.
What do you hear?
Don't be afraid of the silence.
The notes
are already
Here, Thelonious Monk.